Hi everyone, this is Sheena from For the Love of Paper, and this has been a video that I have been putting off recording for about a week or two because it's my first complete junk journal and I'm a little nervous to post it, to be honest. So I'm going to do a flip through this evening and I hope you enjoy it. So this is a 4 signature junk journal. On the side here is a tassel that is removable. You just unclip it and then you can set that aside as you work in the journal. The title on this is Nurture, and I think that comes from my idea to nurture yourself. This whole junk journal is about embracing the flaws, and this will have flaws because it is my first one. So that's why I thought the title was fitting. It has a lace bound binding here, and this is a hardcover front. This is a sari silk tie that comes off and is removable. And there are also book corners. It's a 4 signature book. Within the front is a note from the bookmaker, signed by myself. And you can fill in your name. Whoever is the purchaser, the owner of the junk journal, can write in their name. There is a lot of different edging throughout that is either lace or crocheted fabric. There is handmade and also vintage ephemera. So this is an old photo. There is a side tuck with some ephemera tucked within, as well as some writing space. So there will be some stationery pieces throughout that give you all extra journaling spaces. The first tab just says yourself. And like I said, this is really a journal that's just for you, all about you, and your own self-care. This is stenciling. There are word prompts. I know this could be a really long video, so I will flip through as fast as I can. This is some ephemera tucked in this pocket. This is a little collage, a word prompt, some stamping, a little quote. This is an old children's book page with some stamping. And here's the reverse side with a sticker. This is a little clip that removes. And then there's journaling space inside, so it's double-sided. And that just clips here on the side of the page. Much easier to get on for the sake of video, huh? Some more. This is there's coffee dyed and tea dye paper throughout. So this has stenciling. Here's one of those flaws that I chose to keep. This is a little pocket. It's got a little stamp on it, some stationery. This is an old recipe card. More journaling space. This is doily that I fussy cut, as well as a stamp. This is the center of the first signature, and there is a little die cut in there. Some more stenciling. This is a belly band with several pieces of homemade and tea-dyed ephemera. Some more trim. This is the other end of that pocket. And there is a little journal card in there for you. Tea-dye page. This is another little pocket with some vintage ephemera. And an old word card tucked in there. Here's another little pocket. This is just a little journal card I made. Tea-dye ephemera. and another stationery. This is a really old book page that was turned into a pocket. Some stamping and a die cut with journaling space. There's a word prompt there. This is a pocket with some handmade ephemera and a library card tucked inside. Here's a top corner pocket with some ephemera tucked in. And this is an old, I think this is actually a crossword puzzle dictionary page. Some more tea-dye paper, stenciling. This is a little 3-tiered pocket. So there's a journal card, a tag tucked in there, some ephemera, and then in the very back is a very old piece of book page from an old children's book nestled in there. There are clips throughout. This one has a little like notepad that you can pull away, take away pieces and write on as a little notepad, and it's clipped in there. This one opens up and it's got 2 Edith Holden images with some ephemera tucked inside of there of each pocket. And then this closes back up. This is now into the second signature. This is another little clipped on piece of journaling space that opens up. There's a lot of textures throughout because I particularly like textures. Another little pocket with some ephemera in it. An old dictionary page, some word prompting, another little pocket with some stationery and a little tag tucked in there. This is an old book page. This is some tags, handmade tags, and then there's also a old library card catalog. More tea-dye paper with some word prompts. This is a little piece, like journaling card that I made, stamped and colored. And then there's journaling space on the back that just tucks in there. And this is a floral postcard that can be used or sent. Another little corner pocket with a journaling card, and this is a really old children's like activity book page. So those are tucked in there. Here's another little pocket with some ephemera and stationery, word prompt with journaling space. This is a little handmade ephemera ticket that I made, and a little piece of stationery just pinned on there for extra journaling space. This is a little journaling card, and this is the center of this signature, and it has a charm in it. You can see that. A little key. If I can get a hold of it. There's a little key in the center of this one. This center page is part of a Charles Dickens book. A little fussy cut stamp, another pocket with some stationery paper and some ephemera to be used throughout. Journaling space. This flips open with more journaling space. This is an old book page back here, and then this is a little pocket that I made from a stamp with some ephemera tucked in it, and some writing space, whether it's this tag or piece of notebook paper. Here's another one of those page trims. This is just journaling space. Here has a little side pocket with some ephemera tucked in. More space here. This clips off. And it's got this, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's almost like, it looks like hair, but it's not. It's like wool. It's definitely not hair. Well, maybe animal hair, but. And this is just a little fold over that can be used however you wish. And that's clipped on to the side there. Here's an old dictionary page with fussy cut stamp on it. Here's another piece of ephemera. A lot of journaling space. A word prompt. This I made. It is a writing board. So one side is an old dictionary page. It does have the brackets on it, the corner brackets, and it is hard. There's some gold gilding on the edges, if you can see that. And this is just to be inserted behind your page so you can write on it with ease. Here's another little pocket with some ephemera in it, handmade ephemera. We are now moving into the third, and this one just says revivalism. This is the third signature. Some stenciling. This is just a little scrap board that you can use with journaling. There's a word prompt here, and it's a little bit thicker, and I just had made that from scraps. Journaling space with a little stamp there, a little bird stamp. Here's some more pages with journaling space. I definitely wanted to make sure I didn't overtake every page. Here's a word prompt. Another little pocket with some ephemera. This is another one of those vintage or library card catalog cards. And a little paper flower on there. Next page has a lace trim, another little pocket. This here is a very old piece of paper that can be journaled on, but this is a true one of several true pieces of antique ephemera tucked in there. In that little pocket, here's more journaling space for you. This is another children's book page. This is a pocket here with a little tag or bookmark, and then inside of this pocket is 2 journaling cards that you can use as more writing space or however you wish. A little cluster, more journaling space. Here's a little side tuck with some ephemera in it. Handmade, and also some vintage tea-dyed ephemera. Journaling space. We're now into the middle of the third signature. This is just like a little leaf charm with a butterfly. And this clipped here on the side is some handmade tickets that I made. Here's several pieces just clipped on the back here of journaling space, stamped, that you can remove, add to different pages, write on, tuck back in here. And here's another pocket, and this pulls out with this little tab on it. And this can be used as journaling space. This is a local red covered fridge. So that's tucked in there to use how you want. A little collage there. Here's more stenciling. And this is more lace. Here's more stationery and ephemera tucked in here. This is an old vocabulary card just tucked in there. Journaling space. This is a belly band, and it has several pieces of ephemera and stationery tucked in here for you. I'm a little obsessed with stationery, so definitely have had a lot of that to the journal. Here's a little cluster, journaling space, a little quote, be delighted in the little things. This is just a little clipped journaling space here. tiny little clip. And here's a quote that you can read tucked on there. More journaling space, word prompt. This is a pocket that's actually just clipped, and so you can move it throughout different sections or move it all together. And there's some ephemera tucked in there as well. There's a little word prompt down here with a definition. Some ephemera. Here's another one of those really old children's book pages. Paper clipped with some cute little ephemera there. We're going into the fourth signature. And this is just a note, maybe a just note to keep notes, or to take just a note for yourself. More journaling space. Some crochet trim. Here is another 3 pocket with some vintage and handmade ephemera just tucked in here. Some tickets. There's guest check, a journaling card, some little stickers in here you can use throughout. So, like I said, there's some handmade and some true vintage and some faux vintage ephemera throughout. The back side of this is a little pocket. I did sew around the edges. Some ephemera tucked in there. This is a little piece that's kind of like a folded, this clips off, and it's just journaling space. It opens up, nothing on the inside. That just clips on there for you to have extra journaling space, or you could clip it anywhere else. This would probably be considerably thinner without all the things that I have tucked in here. This is the back side, word prompt on tea-dyed paper. Some lace trim. There's just a little pocket tucked in here with some little pieces of ephemera. Here is a, let's see if I can get this whole thing in this shot. It opens up, and it is a old Sears and Roebuck page. That's some definitely vintage washing machine. So that's clipped in there for you to use however you wish. Let's bring this back down here. More journaling space. Another pocket with a journaling card. Stationery tucked in there. This is the center of the last signature. There's a little butterfly charm in here. This is just a little journaling card that I made with writing space on the back. Here's another little pocket, and there's some tea-dyed ephemera in here, and little stationery writing space. Another word prompt. Here is a pocket. These are some vintage pieces. Here, a tag, and this is an old ledger piece. That was a record of someone's keeping. And that's tucked in there. A little word prompt. This is just a little cluster clipped on here. This is an old, you can see that someone had covered what it was at some point, but it's an old card. Very vintage. And tea-dyed paper. Here is another pocket. Another book card catalog. This is a very old, delicate piece of like receipt paper or registry paper. It's tucked in there, as well as this very old 1946 postcard that has these boxes checked of what the weather was like, how the people were, how they were feeling, where they were spending their time. That's just very neat. And there's a note on the back to Shirley. And it is from Sarah, 1946. A trip to Arkansas. So that's in there for you as well. Journaling space with a word prompt. This is just a little journaling space clipped on here. Another old vintage. It looks like that says at Hackenberger's grocery, excuse me. And that's an old piece there. This is just an old piece. It's not old. This is just a piece of trim, flower trim. Little stamp, plenty of journaling space. This is like a little journaling space that I closed on the front, and it also has a piece of ephemera, so that's a tuck back there. Cluster, and then this is like a final thought to yourself in the back of the journal. So it definitely is chunky. A lot can be removed if you choose. And again, it comes with the tassel that's removable as you're working in it. And it closes up with sari silk. So this is my first journal creation for signatures, for tabs. They really don't have, they're just kind of like word prompts, no specific sections to it. And again, it's titled Nurture, as I hope whoever the owner is finds this to be a nurturing practice for them. There's a little fuzz on there. And embracing flaws, because like I said, this is my first one. It will have some flaws in it, but we all have flaws, and that is to be embraced. That's part of it being a junk journal and handmade art. So I hope you enjoyed this.